Okay, I haven't really got an idea how it all works, so I'm just learning, and the first thing doesn't work. That's great. Okay, I can see comments in the live stream of Facebook, but I don't seem to be okay. I'm not quite sure about the others because I don't see my chat, which should be working. I've got, oh, okay, I can't see any comments concerning Facebook. Okay, okay, I had 2 notes, but these are fine. So let me organize myself. No. So we will talk about the boundary paradox, and I hope you can see it. No, you can't see it all. I just see something isn't really working because I need to start this stream. So I hope it'll come in a second, because not all streams are working yet. I know I'm live on YouTube, and I don't know. Oh, Facebook could be chats online by now. It's currently receiving data from this stream. It's not. Why is that? Okay, this doesn't work either. Great. Can anybody explain to me what's going on? Okay, let me go into the channels and check. We didn't want you. Yes, I'm live on YouTube. Let me see about Facebook. I'm not quite sure whether I'm on Facebook, but I think I am, and I can't see it. I think there was something yesterday as well. Can anybody tell me whether you see me on Facebook, because I can't see it, and I hope the comments are working. No, they are not working. To smooth stream as such will experience buffering. Okay, I can't help it right now. I will go on now because I will see what's going to happen. We will talk about the boundary paradox, and boundaries are really important, and the faster our world gets, the more difficult it is to set boundaries, because we're all interdependent, and it doesn't make it really easier to work with. So I hope, to work with. So the home page is working. I've just seen it. I just switched it off because the tone was disturbing. And then let's start. I hope YouTube has recovered and Facebook works as well. The rest I'm not going to check now. So, today's journey, let's talk what I'm planning today. The paradox revealed why doing more actually gives you less. The more action we make, the more we get into a tunnel view. And the tunnel view of stress is as bad as driving with 1 per mil. And when you think from 1.1 per mil in Germany, you can be asked to attend medical psychological assessment. You know how high this tunnel view is. And I sometimes ask participants or clients, do you see the restrictions on both sides of the street without moving your eyes? And they say no. So that is what shows that how stress influences us and how important it is to find methods, tools to calm down. Well, the cost of no boundaries, being everybody's darling, we will talk about that. What boundaries really are, and framing from guilt to strategy. The most important person in life is you, nobody else. And you decide what you want to achieve, what you want to experience. So setting boundaries that are good for you is important. So the productivity link, science and tools that make it real, we will talk about that. Yeah, the boundary blueprint, practical steps to take today. There will be, for example, the perfect day. But let me tell you, the perfect day is not meant in a way that you constantly think, oh, sugar, I'm stressed, I have to do something. Because that will stress you again. So it'll be all done quite relaxing. And we will have a Q&A and reflection if you are with me. Have you ever felt that the harder you push, the less you actually get done? You're always available. You never say no, and work harder but less focused. There is a phrase, do not work hard but smart, and that is definitely to reduce your stress level. The cost of no boundaries or too little boundaries, and the more you take responsibility, the more you will need boundaries. And we have to think how much responsibility do we want to take over. The more we take over, the harder it will get. And the more you have to set strict boundaries. Yeah, so this is a curve that when you have moderate stress, it is that you perform best. That's what I've learned already at university, and that's something I've always taken to heart. And our body needs stress to function properly, to function good, but that means we have to look after ourselves. We have to make sure what we need, and we have to make sure we don't overdo it at the same time. So when we go into extreme, you see we are not productive anymore, and we tend to go into burnout. And if we don't want, when we go into extreme, you see, if you don't want to go into a burnout, you will have to make sure you are balanced. You've got breaks, and on the other hand, you are productive. Very successful people often block times, 1 or 2 hours, where they don't want to be disturbed. They just want to work hard. And afterwards, they have a little break or enjoy some friends and see what they are up to and socialize and so on. I just changed something. I'd be back in a minute. Something doesn't seem to be working properly. Let me see. There it is. It is not working. I don't have a clue why, but it isn't. Okay, never mind. I can't really influence us right now. Okay, I just leave it and go on. It's what it is. So, always being on costs you 40% of productivity. And as I say always, if you're not stressed, you've got a bouquet of flowers to choose from. But when you're running in a hamster wheel, you have this tunnel view and your productivity will really drop. Further, you've got 3 times more errors, more mistakes. You misjudge things. And if you don't want that, you have to look how to improve that. No. Okay, we have 23% health risk, and the question is, even cancer is discussed as a stress symptom. Stress can speed up or increase the cancer probability. So think about it, if that is something, or whether you prefer longevity. Yeah, you feel overwhelmed, and 86% of people, especially high achievers, in the EU report burnout symptoms. I know from Germany the last 10 years we've only grown because of work density, not because of innovation. Nothing like that. Yeah, what boundaries are: reframing from your guilt to strategy. So that means we set boundaries to make sure we stay healthy. Boundaries are selfish. That might be that people are telling you you're selfish because you set boundaries. But which well-being is the most important? I guess it is yours. You are responsible for yourself. So don't think you're selfish. You're looking after yourself. And with the speed our world is spinning, you have to set boundaries if you really want to become happy. Saying no to damaged relationships. Successful people really look, is the person I'm spending time with sending negative energy, or is this person sending positive energy? And even neutral energy, they are observing and thinking, do I really want to spend more time with this person, or how much do I want to spend? And depending on the person, this person will drop out. Strong people don't need limits. That is not true at all. Strong people need loads of limits because they really want to focus on what they plan, what they are on about, and they don't want to rumble. They want to focus. Boundaries mean caring less. No, it means setting priorities. So you think, why are you getting up in the morning? What do you want people to inherit from you? They protect your the capacities to give. So the reality is they set boundaries because what they want to give fully. And it builds respect and authenticity. They want to be authentic, and that's why they are deciding, I can only give that much, and then I have to stop. Top performers guard their energy deliberately. That's what I mentioned. They really sort out what is doing good and what isn't doing them any good. And you really have to learn to distinguish between those two. Yeah, if we think of longevity, it means we take care to live longer, to have enough energy to work on it. So I just say something. I think I'll have to change something. Just hang on. I'll be back in a second. I think I've missed Facebook. Just hang on. Yes, I missed it. Sorry for that. No, I don't want to post anything. Create a post. I'm not quite sure whether Facebook is live streaming, but I'll leave it as it is for now. So 3 types of boundaries. We've got time boundaries, energy boundaries, and emotional boundaries. Time boundaries, I think most of us are quite good at. They have learned to use time management tools. They have learned to use apps to do their to-dos. There are even AI tools now who tell you when to do what, and they split it in portions. I think we're quite good with that. So we've got fixed work end times. We have protect deep work blocks. That's what I mentioned. They set a block of time and nobody should disturb them. And digital-free evenings, especially before you go to bed. Energy boundaries, I talked about this. The draining interactions, prioritize task by impact. Successful people tend to look for people who are giving them energy, who are a step before them, who have achieved what they want to achieve. And we have recovery rituals built in. We come to that because that's what is really important. If you want to reduce stress, you first of all have to have recovery rituals. Emotional boundaries are a bit of a tricky thing. Say no without over-explaining. That's something many people find really difficult. And the only person you are responsible for is yourself again. So if you have your personal arguments, you don't have to explain to anybody else. They don't need to agree. So it means you don't really have to make sure they agree, they are on the path that you are taking. Recognize what you can control. To distinguish between what you can control and what you can't control is very important. And it's not easy to distinguish because we have people we are dependent on. We need projects, and we need our work, we need our family. So it can really be that it is difficult to say no in this case. Yeah, the productivity, the science and the tools. As mentioned, we come to that. Stress is what we think. It might be you think, no, it isn't, it's coming from outside. But every situation is neutral. And what our beliefs are is what we make of it. And in today's world, we have to be very flexible. And this flexibility will help you not to be too stressed. But that's not easily said than done. Yeah. What we will do when you do a coaching with me is change your mindset. Often, especially when you are stressed, you have a negative and a passive mindset, not a proactive one. You don't feel you can achieve something, you can get something. And so this is where the network comes in again, where your socializing comes in again, because this will help you to reduce your stress. You have somebody to talk to. I just said that I'm just creating courses and communities, and I chatted to a colleague because of one community, and we noted there are so many tiny little things I've not really thought through, but while we were talking it made click, and afterwards I changed those things immediately. 23 minutes to fully refocus after a distraction. That's called getting in the flow. And it is really interesting. When we read a book, we need 25 minutes to really dive into the story. And the question is, are you, especially nowadays, really often having 25 minutes for one task? Or is constantly the phone buzzing, people coming and asking you something? Are you often strongly distracted? So when you use these tools or tips, you will be 30% more focused. You will have 20, nearly 30% of better sleep, and the burnout risk is really dropping. So a day without boundaries, or a day with them. You are in a reactive mode in the morning, and you start immediately working, being busy, and that stresses you. Having a morning routine where you've got time just for yourself will definitely help you to improve. Skip lunch, eat at a desk. Our melatonin level depends on a regular lunch meal. It might be really strange for you that even the morning and lunchtime and your breaks depend on your sleeping rhythm. When you go to sleep, when you can sleep. Yeah, you've got 47 browser tabs open. You missed your child's bedtime again because you're still busy. You can't go when your boss goes. There are countries you have to wait until your boss is gone, and you have to be busy. Checked emails at 11 p.m. That's when you want to wind down, and fell asleep anxious and exhausted. Instead, intentional start, clear priorities. That's why I say, when you've done your morning routine, for example, meditated, breath exercises, wrote your morning journal, you start and having breakfast and perhaps even a little sport. You start structuring your day, your to-dos. That's the first thing you do, because then you can't forget what is stressing you. It's written down. There is a mind map. It might be a digital one. It doesn't matter. But you've done something for it. You look for lunch. And it is funny because we are often talking about the Chinese are working so hard. They are really working hard. But they understand something. They have a 2-hour lunch break. And they have another break in the evening when they go into the night. And during these 2 hours, they eat lunch, quietly relax, and then they have chairs. They lay down backwards and have a power nap. And afterwards, they are refreshed and start working again. And some even go for a walk. But I'm not sure whether that method is better than us stressing through the day and then having an evening break, starting the morning and then having the weekend. Yeah, fully present at home. The trouble in Germany is we've got really fixed working hours. I see it in China, it's a lot more relaxed. If somebody has something, he goes and comes back and then he works again. But in Germany, we don't have this culture. So perhaps that's something to think about. Work ends at 6 p.m, done. And I think that's something we should introduce, and we have partly. But thinking of other working models could be an idea as well. Fall asleep, calm and restored. At least an hour before you go to sleep, switch your devices off and relax. Read a book, do some meditations, and that will help you. Now you get a boundary blueprint, a framework. Start, see it, notice where your energy is leaking. What drains you most? Which colleagues drain you? Which friends drain you? I often have it when I work with people who drank or took drugs. They have to change their whole socializing group, their friends, really exchange them, because it turns out these friends were only friends to drink or smoke, just to give an idea. So everybody that leaks energy, think about it. Is that really what you want? Reframe the story. Limits aren't weaknesses, they are strength. Tell yourself. It's like self-talk. You know when you learn a language, I and others as well went through the streets and repeated what I heard in English. So when I had a lunch break and I was in league walking around, I repeated what people said just to learn the language. And if you do that with your negative beliefs and transform them into positive beliefs and keep repeating it, you will start to believe them. Yeah, one tiny boundary this week: practice makes permanent. It's similar like learning a language, changing your mindset. Start small and the calm comes and it grows. It's like waves in small stones do create small waves, and big stones might create larger waves. So reflect. You will just get the perfect day in a moment, and I always say look for 1 day a week and look what you want to do at that day to reduce your stress. All the other days, you live your normal life. Why? Because when you overdo it, you are stressed again. And I don't want you to stress. And what works well will slide into the other days of the week. So reflect. After your day, you will get a table where you can cross what worked, what didn't work. Boundaries are living agreements, not rigid rules. That's what I meant with flexibility. To be authentic means to be thinking flexible. It doesn't mean to stay rigid. Boundary tools you can use every day. The hard stop. We always say stop. When it comes to negative beliefs, behavior and consequences. And some consequences are so tough. If you don't want to repeat them, we always say stop. So this is really the hard stop. And people that have negative energy, they need a hard stop for you to heal. Not now script. Replace impulsive yes with let me think about it. Let me check my calendar. I get back to you. And this is important because in that moment you bring a gap into what is stressing you and what you think you can do. And then when you've created this gap, after an hour or longer, you sit down and have a look. You look, how realistic is it that this fits in? And then you give your feedback. And if you say no, as we said, you don't really need to argue your no. So boundary conversations, yeah. If you start this process, the opposite side or party will try to argue you back into your old behavior. And you have to set the hard stop with that. If you have a feeling this hard stop is a bit too much, before you go into this conversation, write down where your minimum boundaries are. It's a bit like going to a bazaar or a market and bargaining prices. And that's what this is about as well. So create buffer blocks. Buffer blocks give you a time to calm down, to regain and to refocus on what is next. I don't know whether you know the Pomodoro technique. You work 25 minutes and have a 5 minutes break. You work 25 minutes, you've got 5 minutes break. After 4 of those sessions, you have a longer break. And at midday, you've got your lunch break. These breaks are not to be taken and scrolling on your phone. They are taken to just sit down, look out of the window. The sun is beautiful outside in my case, and I've got loads of green to look at, and to relax. Your brain is working. Your brain is working on the subjects you've just been busy with. So don't stress yourself. If you take a buffer block, it helps you to reduce your stress and the probability to run into a burnout. Yeah, a 10-minute consistent end of work ritual. Walk, tea, journal signals your nervous system. We talked about this, and yeah, don't forget a weekly energy audit. What went well, what didn't went well, etc. Your boundary reflection. Where in life do you feel most depleted? What do you keep arguing into that you wish you hadn't? What is one boundary that, if set today, would most change your week? As I'm not quite sure, I think nobody see it, but it might be I can't see all platforms. If somebody's there, if you want to, please write in the chat your answer. Okay, as nobody seems to be there, I will go on. So, if you want to continue to work with me, you can have and enjoy a coaching with me. Just see. Yes, no, it's right again. What you will get is, we do it all in online, and it will be in English like I do it now. And I speak German as well for all those who don't know. So you can do it in German as well. What you will get is a video called Learn at Your Own Pace. That's in the Resilience Club. In this Resilience Club, I come live every week once to answer questions, to give you more input, and you will have a community and you will have a course. As I won't put everything into the course because it will be smashed then, I have created a playlist of videos, and that will be fun, and you will get more and more videos just to give you more input, to give you the opportunity to learn. This community is really to exchange, and there is something else I offer, and which you will find in the community. I've got another platform where you can go spontaneously live with somebody else of our community, and then you can exchange live, like being on Zoom, Meet, or anything. These rooms are open 24/7. Another thing is, as I am like here live streaming, I won't be able to be in the group 24/7, and there will be an AI coach for you, which I call Charles. So when you need assistance, when I'm not there, you feel free to use our Charles and communicate with him. Yeah, the course has got 8 modules in total. The course or the coaching, the video, so to say, the coaching has videos, documents, and mind maps. We have an OMPL file in some of the lessons, and I have a tool which you will get where you have to register, but then you, like Google templates, you copy it and then you can extend the mind map as you like it. So these are options you've got in this coaching, coaching. And of course, when you've got questions, just write them in the comments. If it is something personal, our community has got a private chat as well, which everybody can use. So if there is anything you think, oh blimey, I don't really want to post it in the group because I don't really want everybody to know, just feel free to chat with us. So how can you get the group? Just hang on. I will give you the link. Oops, no, that wasn't right. So I can't put the link in every live stream, but I hope I can. Just hang on. I will change something right now. No, I can't do it because deep touch. And no, I should be able. No, there is no chance. Oh yes, no. This is really strange. Okay, I can't help you. Sorry, I can't open any chat, which is very strange, but that's what it is right now. I will say, when you go on my Facebook page where I'm streaming, or on YouTube, the home page has got a comment section. Please write me a message and I will send it to you. And Brent and Kik, I think, hopefully have an opportunity to get in touch with me. So please get in touch with me and I will help you with that. Remember, boundaries are no walls. They are flexible. Be authentic. They are a container in which great work lives. Boundaries protect energy. Energy fuels focus. And focus creates results. I think nobody's saying. Therefore, I say bye. And if you've got any questions,